Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs, and this, Vince, is what?
The Big Five.
2 years ago, Vince, we reviewed The Fast and the Furious 6. It was our very first review we did for that year, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
So now 2 years later, here we are back again with our very first review for the big 5 months of the year, where all the big, huge action blockbuster films come out, and we're starting it once again with another Fast and Furious movie.
Another Fast and Furious movie. Which one is this Fast and Furious, Dave?
This would be number 7, which is totally insane for almost any franchise to get to movie number 7.
Star Trek did it too.
Yeah, but I think the quality of the Star Trek films kind of started to slide off towards the end of it.
Right around number 7.
I know we discussed all this already when we reviewed Fast 6 about how this is such a weird franchise because it didn't really start getting good until the 5th film, and then the 6th film, and now the 7th film. It's like the 3 films here is where it really started getting good. And the 5th film I gave the bomb to, and then the 6th film I even gave more of the bomb to, and now we're on movie 7, so the real question is, will this also get the bomb?
Same thing. I said the bomb for both 5 and 6, and here we are at 7, so let's find out.
The first shot of this movie cracked me up, Vince. I was laughing. The very first shot of this film just really cracked me up.
What shot was that, Dave?
Well, it was with the Rock sitting there with his sweat towel. He's just like wiping sweat off. He's like sitting in his office sweating for no reason.
Well, he it must have been left over from 5 and 6. He was sweating in those films, so here's the leftover sweat.
Because you know how we talk about how much he sweated in the other films. He's always moist. He's always dripping. And here he's just sitting at his desk and like, wiping his face off full of sweat. Oh my god, it was fun. Before we start the review, I gotta say this was actually directed by one of my favorite new directors, James Wan.
Yeah, he's known for actually doing the Insidious films and The Conjuring.
He also did Saw.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, he's done all horror movies, and this was his first action film. So I was really excited to see what he was going to do with this and how he was going to approach this film.
And I have to say, excellent job. He did an excellent job on this.
I agree. I thought the action sequences were through the roof in this film. I thought they were just absolutely spectacular. And I really think he has like a thing for butts, because there was a lot of shots of butts in this movie.
Well, you can't have a Fast and Furious movie about girls.
But one thing that you said about Fast 6, and it still goes through all these films, is when you come into a Fast and Furious movie, it's almost like going back to a place where there's family. It's like you know these people now, and you feel almost like at home when you go back to one of these films because you're so familiar with these characters now. Right,
and you know what each character is. You don't need to go through the whole origin of them, because you follow them through 6 movies now and into the 7th. But they introduced some new characters in this one as well.
And that's what I really liked about this film is, they didn't do any backstory. I mean, it's like, okay, well, if you don't know who these characters are already, then you might as well just go into another theater, because, we already made 7 movies here, people.
My only thing about this film, and it's not that I'm disappointed in it or anything like that, the only thing about this movie that you notice it in the film is that Paul Walker passed away while making this. So throughout the movie, they keep doing these little things where you think, well, obviously not in the beginning, but they do it in the beginning, but they throughout this movie they keep doing these little things like, okay, is this where it's going to be somebody else doing his part, or is this, you know, is this where they're going to introduce a CGI Paul Walker, or and they keep doing these little parts throughout the whole film, like, okay, this is going to be it. This is going to be the end.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I think a lot of people are going to go there and see this and think that.
See, I never thought of that at all watching this film. The only reason you were thinking that was because he's dead, and you kept probably thinking, okay, when is this going to happen? When are they going to get rid of him? But I never thought about any of that. I was just sitting there enjoying the film. I never thought about what was going to happen to him in the film. I never once crossed my mind watching this film, not one time.
A lot of that is the reason why a lot of people are going to see this movie. They probably never saw 5 and 6 until it came to Blu-ray or DVD, or they never saw any of the other ones, but they're going to go see this one because Paul Walker is dead.
And again, I have to disagree with you. I don't think so. I think it's just because it's the Fast and Furious film that people are going to see it. I mean, it's been #1 at the box office for 3 weeks now, and it has, like, until I guess the Avengers comes out, there's no competition going to slow this thing down. And it's already made, I think, $800 million the opening weekend or something crazy. Just because it's a Fast and Furious film. I don't think it has anything to do with Paul Walker whatsoever. Nothing.
No, it does.
I mean, half the people could care less about Paul Walker. I mean, he wasn't a big movie star. I mean, he was famous for these movies, but it's not like, you know, say, I don't know, Tom Cruise was killed in a movie, and everybody's going to go out and see the movie that Tom Cruise was killed in, or he died after, or whatever, you know, the last movie that he was in. I mean, Paul Walker's not that big of a star, Vince.
But he's big in this movie, in these films. They know his character. That is one of the biggest reasons. That's why Tokyo Drift didn't do as well, because he wasn't in it.
All right, let me ask you this then. Say, because I was asking my wife this too. Say if they made Fast and Furious 8 and Rock was the only one in it, would people still go see it?
I don't know.
Yeah, they would, because it's a great franchise. It's become a great story. It has nothing to do with Paul Walker.
There's the fans. There's the set of Fast and Furious fans that will go see this movie no matter what. But aside from that, there's other people that, you know, they probably never even saw the other two, and they're going to go see this one because Paul Walker was in it and he died.
If no one's ever seen a Fast and Furious movie, they don't know who Paul Walker is, Vince. He's not that popular, like I just said. They ain't going to go see a movie just because a guy died. They're not going to do it.
Trust me, Dave, I'm telling you, that's a lot of what's drawing people to this movie.
You know what's drawing people to this movie? That it was spectacular, Vince. That's why people are going to this film.
There's a portion of people that will go see this movie.
I had so much fun watching this film. It was just a blast for me. It was as much fun
just because he died, and that's it. They probably never watched a Fast and the Furious
as 6 and 5 for me watching this film.
But they're going to go see this because it's Paul Walker.
You know, the thing, I mean, it's pretty much become the die-hard of car films now. It's like,
I guarantee you they will.
Now it's like, they always try to top themselves with crazy stunts. And there's so many insane, crazy stunts in this film.
Paul Walker or John.
And this is supposed to be fun. It is not supposed to be a realistic action film. It's like a, oh my god, that's crazy action film. That's what these are now. And I have zero problem with any of that. I just go in expecting a whole lot of fun. And the stories here are always good. That's what keeps people coming back, Vince.
But they're going to go see this because it's Paul Walker.
Is the stories of the Fast and Furious movies are good. They're really entertaining.
Well, I think it was a spectacular film too. As a matter of fact, I liked it as much as the other two, as much as 5 and 6. I don't think it was the best of the series, but it was 5, 6, and 7 have all been great. They've all been great films.
It's just not just a throwaway action film.
Kurt Russell was really good in the film. I really liked his character in this. But the thing about his character in this was he's kind of shady. So who knows how his character is going to actually play it out in Part 8 if he comes back for Part 8. He doesn't die first.
If he does, Part 8 is going to be huge. It'll Kurt Russell died? Paul Walker died? Oh my God, we got to go see this. It's a double death.
But they're going to go see this because it's Paul Walker.
So you're saying, Vince, people are walking up to the box office and like, wait a minute, what's that movie that the guy died in? I want to go see that film.
I guarantee you they were.
So what would you give Fast and Furious 7, Vince?
I'm going to give Part 7... the bomb!
I agree. I think it's as good as 5 and 6 were. And since I gave them the I also give this the
Out of the entire series, out of the whole Fast and Furious series, I don't think this was necessarily the best Fast and Furious ever, but it was right in line with 5, 6, and 7. They've made great films.
Yeah, it was great. And I did like Jason Statham in this film, and it was good to see him play a bad guy for once. It was really nice.
Yeah, he was fantastic, too. And he was great. That was another big reason I went to this film, was because of Jason Statham. And Kurt Russell. Paul Walker. I'm not nuts.